Hey everyone, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Keisha, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I hope to read in the month of February. About this reading month because there's a fun readathon going on. I'm participating in some reading challenges. I'm doing quite a few buddy reads, and I have 11 books that I'm just genuinely really excited to get to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. First up, I want to go ahead and talk about the readathon that I'm going to be participating in this month, and that is the X's and O's readathon hosted by Jessie from Reading with Jess, along with Lena from Lena's Bookshelf, Lauren from Lauren Love Reads, Gwen from Gwendolyn Kinsinger or Lavender Mud over on Instagram, as well as Summer from Seasons Readings. Jessie has created such a cute readathon where there's like teams, there's Team X and there's Team O. There's some really fun reading prompts and photo prompts. They're even going to have a movie night, so I'm really excited to be participating in this readathon. So let me go ahead and tell you what I plan to read for each prompt. I found that I had more books on my TBR to fit the prompts for Team O, so that is the team that I'm going to be a part of. And the reading prompts for this one are, number one, a book with friends to lovers. So with that one, I'm going to be reading a new book that just came out, and that is The Rom-Com Agenda by Jane Dinker. I've been really excited about this one. This author also wrote The Roughest Draft, which I did not read, but I may end up reading if I enjoy this one. This is a friends to lovers story that is based around this girl group that have a guy friend that they are trying to kind of like make him over to be the perfect rom-com movie type guy, and so they are trying to change things about him, but there is one friend who thinks that he is perfect the way he is and doesn't need to change, and so there's going to be a little bit of a friends to lovers story there. This just sounds so cute, and I have very high hopes for this one. The next prompt is to read a book with pink on the cover, and I have two options for this one just depending on how much I get read in this week. So my first option is going to be Authentically Izzy by Pepper Basham. This, I believe, is a lightly Christian fiction author, but this is a romance novel, and it sounds so cute. The back says, "Dear reader, my name is Isabel Louisa Edgewood, Izzy for short. I live by blue-tinted mountains where I find contentment in fresh air and books. Oh, and coffee and tea, of course, and occasionally in being accosted by the love of my family. You'll understand my verb choice and the phrase later. I dream of opening my own bookstore, but my life, particularly my romantic history, has not been the stuff of fairy tales, which is probably why my pregnant, misled, matchmaking cousin, who really is more like my sister, signed me up for an online dating community. The trouble is, it worked. I've met my book-quoting Mr. Right, and our correspondence has been almost too good to be true. But Brody lives across an ocean, and just the other day, a perfectly nice author and professor named Eli came into the library where I work and asked me out for a coffee. I feel a rom-com movie with a foreboding disaster nipping at my heels. But I've played it safe for a long time. Maybe it's time for me to be as brave as my favorite literary heroines. Maybe it's time to take the adventures from the page to real life. Wish me luck. Authentically Izzy." Now, if I don't end up getting around to that one, or if I feel like I'm not going to be able to finish all these books in a week, I do have Over My Dead Body by Sweeney Boo. This is not a romance. This is a witchy graphic novel that I don't really know that much about. The reason that I chose this one is she does have a little bit of pink in her hair. Her lips are pink, so I'm going to say that counts. And if I need this, then I'm going to use it. But it just looks really cute, and I know it's YA, so it's probably not going to actually be cute. It actually is probably going to be kind of, I don't know, sinister. It looks like it might go that direction, so we'll just have to see. And the last prompt and the last book that I have is a book with a word from an O's conversation heart in the title. So they have different conversation hearts, if you guys are familiar with the candies. For the X's and the O's, they have different ones. And so the O's conversation hearts are you and me, love yourself, be mine, soulmate, and so fine. So you can use one word from any of those conversation hearts to like find a book. So Love Yourself has the word love in it. And so I ended up picking up Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey. This cover just immediately drew me in whenever I first saw this. I was like, oh my gosh, please let this be a book that piques my interest other than just the cover. And I think it might be a good one. I'm not really sure a whole lot about it. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it. It says two high school sweethearts get a second chance at their perfect ending in this charming new romance. So there is this guy who ended up going off to be a famous alt country singer. Now he's coming back to his hometown and meeting the girl that he kind of left behind. They tried long distance and it didn't work out. And so now he's coming back. He's a single dad. And I don't know, maybe this is a little cute second chance romance story, I'm hoping. So I'm really excited for this one as well. Those are going to be all the books that I am reading for the X's and O's readathon. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump into some other things that I'm participating in this month. One of the things is from the Talk Bookish to Me podcast. My friend Gwen is doing a reading challenge for the year. I failed in January. I did not get a book read, but I want to try again this month. And this month's prompt is to read a book that has been adapted into a movie, but it's got to be a romance book because it's February. And when I was younger, I really loved rom-com movies. I watched them a lot with my mom. And one of my favorite movies is Nights in Rodanthe. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I don't know if it's Rodanthe or Rodanthe. I don't know, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It has Richard Gere in it, and I fell in love with him. And so, anywho, I decided to pick up Nights in Rodanthe by Nicholas Sparks. And I have not read a Nicholas Sparks since high school, and I think the only Nicholas Sparks that I've ever read is A Walk to Remember, and it shattered my heart. It was so good. So I'm curious to see what I think about his books now. I know he still writes a lot of them, but I really wanted to read this book since I'd never read it and rewatched the movie. It says, reeling with heartache after her husband abandons her for a younger woman, Adrienne Willis flees to the small coastal town of Rodanthe, North Carolina, to tend a friend's inn. Here she hopes to find the tranquility she so desperately needs to rethink her life. But almost as soon as she gets there, a major storm is forecast and a guest named Dr. Paul Flanner arrives. At 54, Paul has just sold his medical practice and is trying to escape his own shattered past. Now, with a fierce nor'easter closing in, two wounded people will turn to each other for comfort and in one weekend set in motion feelings that will resonate throughout the rest of their lives. Next up, I'm going to be joining Jessie from the Sleep When I'm Dead book club. Jessie hosts this book club, and this month I'm going to be her co-host. And I'm so excited because we are going to be reading Malice House by Megan Shepherd. And I've been so excited to get to this one. I'm honestly not sure where I'm going to fall on the spectrum because I feel like there are people that love this, there are people that hate it. There are people that fall a little bit in between, and I think the ending and kind of the reveal is what makes or breaks it for people. So this really piqued my interest because it kind of gave me Home Before Dark by Riley Sager vibes, though I'm not sure that it's going to go in that direction. It says this is a complex tale of dark magic and family secrets that emerge when a woman attempts to settle the estate of her father, an acclaimed horror novelist. And it's perfect for fans of Lovecraft Country, The Babadook, and Leigh Bardugo's Ninth House, which I actually kind of just DNF'd Ninth House. Soft DNF. I'm going to come back to it. I just didn't feel like it right now. But because this girl, her father's passed, she's inheriting something from him, she's reading the stories that he wrote, that's kind of what reminds me of the Home Before Dark book. So I kind of want to go into this just knowing that. So sorry to not reveal the whole synopsis to you, but I kind of want to go in blind to see how I feel. I'm really excited to be reading this with Jessie in February and discussing it on her channel. Then I have 4 buddy reads. The first one I don't have with me. It is The Minuscule Mansion of Myra Malone by Audrey Burgess. I do have the synopsis pulled up on Goodreads, so I'll just go ahead and read it there, but I am going to be buddy reading this with Olivia from Liv's Library. A woman learns to expand the boundaries of her small world and let love inside in this sparkling and unforgettable novel by Audrey Burgess. From her attic in the Arizona mountains, 34-year-old Myra Malone blogs about a dollhouse mansion that captivates thousands of readers worldwide. Myra's stories have created legions of fans who breathlessly await every blog post, trade photographs of mansion-modeled rooms, and swap theories about the enigmatic and reclusive author. Myra herself is tethered to the mansion by mysteries she can't understand, rooms that appear and disappear overnight, music that plays in its corridors. Across the country, Alex Rakes, the scion of a custom furniture business, encounters 2 mansion fans trying to recreate a room. The pair show him the minuscule mansion, and Alex is shocked to recognize a reflection of his own life mirrored back to him in minute scale. The room is his own bedroom, and the mansion is his family's home, handed down from the grandmother who disappeared mysteriously when Alex was a child. Searching for answers, Alex begins corresponding with Myra. Together, the two unwind the lonely paths of their twin worlds, big and small, and trace the stories that entwine them, setting the stage for a meeting rooted in loss but defined by love. This sounds like such a unique story and like one I've never read before, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it or not. It is a little bit of fantasy and magical realism weaved into it, but it sounds so good and I'm very excited to read this one with Olivia. I also have another buddy read with Liv and also with Kendall from Bookphoria. We all three hauled Vinyl Resting Place by Olivia Black last month, and I've been so excited to get to this one since I heard about it last year. It is blurbed by Elle Cosimano, which is a big deal because she wrote Finlay Donovan, and that series has kind of taken the world by storm. But I love the back of this book, like the synopsis, and I know I don't want to read a lot of synopses to you guys because I know that can get boring, but this one is so good. If you haven't heard it, please listen up because this is the punniest thing I have ever heard in my life. When Junie Jessup and her sisters Tansy and Maggie put all their beans in one basket to open Sip and Spin Records, a record/coffee shop in Cedar River, Texas, they knew there could be some scratches on the track, but no one was expecting to find a body deader than disco in the supply closet. Family is everything to the Jessups, so when their uncle is arrested on suspicion of murder by Junie's heartbreaking ex, the sisters don't skip a beat putting Sip and Spin up for bail collateral. But their tune changes abruptly when Uncle Calvin disappears, leaving them in a grind. With their uncle's freedom and the future of their small business on the line, it's up to Junie and her sisters to get in the groove and figure out who done it before the killer's trail and the coffee goes cold. Music and mocha seem like a blend that should be knocking on heaven's door, but caught up in a murder investigation with her family and their life savings on the line, Junie wonders if she might be on the highway to hell instead. Does that not just sound like the cutest cozy mystery ever? I am really wanting to love this one. I have good feelings about it. I'm actually reading a cozy mystery right now that may be my new favorite, so I definitely want to continue on in the cozies and see if I can find more that I love. The next book that I'm going to be buddy reading is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stephenson, and I'm going to be buddy reading this with my friend Elizabeth from Ponytails and Paperbacks. I was so kindly sent this book by Victoria from Biblia Lifestyle, as well as the publisher Mariner Books, so thank you guys so much for sending this one to me. I'm very excited about it. Benjamin Stephenson is a published author in Australia, but his books are just now coming to the States, so I'm really excited to get into this murder mystery. It says it's like Knives Out and Clue meet Agatha Christie and the Thursday Murder Club. This is another book that I kind of want to go into blind, but it is a classic locked room mystery with a little bit of a new twist on it. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but I'm excited to read it with Elizabeth to see what we think. And the last book that I'm going to be buddy reading is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This was in the Goodreads Choice Awards. It was a nominee for the Best Mystery Thriller of last year. I had never heard anything about it before then, so I wanted to make sure I picked it up. Again, I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but I am intrigued by it, and I'm going to be buddy reading this with my friend Lena from Lena's Bookshelf. And I don't know a lot about this going in, just that it's about this nanny who nannies for the Winchesters. And it's kind of weird because the wife of the family makes a mess just to watch Nina clean it up. And then the wife tells lies about her own daughter. And then the husband seems more broken every day. So the family has some stuff going on. But not only that, the nanny seems to have a secret too. So I don't know. This just sounds like it's going to be a really good thriller. Possibly a domestic thriller, I'm not really sure, but I am excited to read it and see what I think. And the last book that I plan to read for the month of February is 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis. I've been putting this book off until about this time of year because I believe this book actually takes place during March. It is a winter book, but it is not a Christmas book despite the way this cover looks, so I have been saving it. Lauren from Lauren Love Reads really loved this one, and I feel like I will too. It kind of has a serendipity fate type storyline that I'm so excited about. It is about this girl named Noelle who is on her way back from an event at her old college when she gets hit by a blizzard, and she is now stranded on the side of the road with no food, drink, or a way to charge her phone or anything else when a guy named Sam, who is also trapped in a nearby car, comes and knocks on her window, and they spend 8 perfect hours together before they are rescued and go on about their lives, but they keep running into each other, and it just seems like fate may have other plans for them. I'm really excited to dive into this one. I feel like it sounds like the perfect wintry, hallmarky story and a perfect romance read for February. And that is going to be all of the books that I hope to read in the month of February. I have kind of only been reading about 7 or 8 books a month, so I don't know that I'll get to all of these, but I'm really hoping I'm able to. If you have made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave me a pink heart emoji down below for Team O, for the X's and O's readathon, because we are Team Pink. And also, just because it's February, it's the month of romance, so go ahead and leave that down below and let me know what book you're most excited to read in the month of February. Maybe I haven't heard of it yet and I need to add it to my list. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye, friends.